China is pushing back after the United States announced it would allow Beijing to buy Venezuelan oil, but only on Washington's terms. At a regular press briefing in Beijing, China's foreign ministry rejected the U.S. position outright, stressing that Venezuela is a sovereign nation with the right to choose its own trade partners, a clear rebuke to American control over Caracas's oil sales.
Venezuela is a sovereign nation, and it has the inherent right to freely choose its own partners.
The reaction comes after the Trump administration confirmed it has taken indefinite control of Venezuela's oil exports following the capture of former President Nicolás Maduro in a U.S. operation on January 3rd. Under the new system, China, long Venezuela's largest oil buyer, can still purchase crude, but only at what the United States calls fair market prices, not the deeply discounted rates used under Maduro to repay massive Chinese loans. A U.S. official said those earlier deals amounted to undercut pricing that shortchanged the Venezuelan people while enriching a corrupt regime. Washington now insists that oil revenues must reflect global market value and that most Venezuelan crude be sold directly to the United States. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says the change is already paying off. The U.S. is now receiving around $45 per barrel, compared with roughly $31 per barrel before Maduro's removal. Major global traders have begun operating under the new rules. Trafigura has completed its first crude sale to Spain's Repsol, while Vital has negotiated Venezuelan cargoes for U.S. refiners and for its refinery in Italy.
Well, right now they're very strong leadership. I mean, they're showing very strong leadership. I also spoke with Maria today, and who I like a lot. But Elsie's showed very strong leadership so far, I have to say. And we're moving in, to the United States, millions of barrels of oil as we speak. You know that. You see it. You see what's happening. Over 50 million barrels of oil is already moved or moving into the United States, and much more to come. And we're working with them, and they'll get some of that, and we're going to get some of that. And it'll be divided up, and our country will become richer, and that means our taxes are going to be going down, and they will do better. Venezuela is going to do better than they've ever done. Right now, they're not living well because of what's gone on for years. It's years of socialism and worse. It's really, worse than socialism. But we're going to start drilling very soon. We have the biggest companies in the world. We have them, and they're going to be going in. They're all negotiating right now. And we're representing the nation, and the nation is very thrilled by that because we're really good at this. And they'll be taking in more money than they ever have, but we'll be taking in a lot of money too. That's going to do two things. It's going to make the United States a lot of money, and it's also, it's going to make Venezuela a lot of money, but it's also going to bring down oil prices.
But the impact on China could be significant. Analysts and traders say Chinese imports of Venezuelan oil are expected to fall sharply from February, as fewer tankers are cleared to leave ports now under U.S. oversight. For Beijing, the issue goes beyond barrels and prices, touching on sovereignty, influence, and the growing reach of U.S. power over global energy flows. Meanwhile, a debate erupted in Venezuelan assembly on a reform that would open the country's oil sector to private investors, paving the way for the return of U.S. energy majors, a key demand of Trump.
The necessary reforms that will allow for a rapid and accelerated increase in Venezuela's oil production. We have already stated this on several occasions. I personally heard President Nicolás Maduro say it on numerous occasions. I've also heard the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, state it quite clearly, that oil which remains buried deep beneath the earth serves absolutely no practical purpose whatsoever. What possible benefit do we truly gain from constantly proclaiming that we possess the single largest oil reserve on the entire planet? if the conditions, ranging from the blockade and sanctions to the very cumbersome elements embedded within our current legislation, impede an accelerated process for us to advance towards greater production.
The hydrocarbon law is one of the most important. It's the one that can generate much more wealth and resources for the country's finances. But this discussion is just beginning. We are willing to have that discussion to contribute whatever we have to contribute, provided that with respecting the laws, respecting the regulations, respecting democracy, the debate. And once again, well, welcome to the modern economy.
In relation to the reform of the organic hydrocarbons law, the law itself aims to further strengthen the legal security with the clear intention of achieving the attraction of investors who will invest their capital in the Venezuelan oil fields. And as the President herself rightly said, it's not the same to bring an investor to an already mature, developed field as it is to one they must explore what they refer to as a virgin field.
With Washington controlling Venezuela's oil, China objecting loudly, and markets recalibrating in real time, this confrontation marks a new flashpoint in the widening struggle between the world's two largest powers, where energy is once again at the center of geopolitics.
The Chinese side's position on the Ukraine crisis has always been consistent and unambiguous. Dialogue and negotiation remain the only correct and viable path for resolving this crisis. Venezuela is a sovereign nation, and it has the inherent right to freely choose its own partners.
Regarding the questions concerning the work of the Peace Committee, we have already given a comprehensive answer, and we have no further comments to make.
The Chinese side hopes Iran will maintain national stability and hopes all parties will cherish peace, exercise restraint, and resolve their differences through dialogue. On the content of the summit meeting between the heads of State of China and the Republic of Korea held earlier this month, the Chinese side has already issued a press release. Regarding the other questions that you have raised, I do not have any further information available to offer at this time. The current international situation is turbulent and unstable. As permanent members of the UN Security Council, China and the UK strengthening exchanges and cooperation serves the interests of both countries and the world. Concerning the specific visit that you have brought to our attention, we will be making an official announcement when the timing is appropriate. Regarding the US-China relationship you mentioned, the stable development of US-China relations is in the common interest of the people of both nations, and it also meets the shared expectations of the international community. Head of state diplomacy plays an irreplaceable guiding role in US-China relations. As for the specific question that you brought up, I currently have no specific information that I can offer. The Chinese government has always strived to promote and protect human rights. The progress in Xinjiang and Tibet is plain for all to see and cannot be defamed. The so-called concerns of certain experts are entirely fabricated and speculative and are utterly baseless. We urge the relevant experts of special procedures to respect basic facts, strictly abide by the code of conduct for special procedures, perform their duties impartially and objectively, and not become tools and accomplices of anti-China forces. For the specific issue that you have mentioned, I would advise you to consult the competent Chinese authorities. The Chinese side's stance regarding the TikTok matter has been consistently and clearly articulated.
This is Japan's internal affairs. We are not commenting.